Welcome to another stream. Feeling a little bit under the weather. I had a flu shot yesterday, and last night I started feeling like running fever and all that. But did a little bit of work. Well, I went to work today, still feeling bad. Went and did the those bottom boards, and man, I just feel miserable. But felt like I needed to come over here and hang out with you guys tonight. No power. Oh, yeah, we're getting a little bit of rain right now as well. So who do all we got here? We got the Honeybee Compound, Stuffy, Icy Mountain Honey, Tritone, Randy Klangen, Hope, Daisy, Steve, rather, not Daisy, Gunline, Tim and Hannah, and we got Stuffy. Well, welcome everyone. So as you guys know, right over there in the top is a pinned link if you want to come in. Feel like you're missing something. You don't want to miss out on anything. There's Charlie. Hey, Charlie.
Hey.
Yeah. Feeling miserable. Feeling bad.
Is that right?
So from that the flu shot, man, I was running a fever all night long, chills. It was bad. And I felt a little bit better after I got up and went to work and then got home, and my bottom board kits were here, so I did that. But you know what? I just get frustrated because they don't, beekeeping supply companies in general, I'm not they don't it's like they don't take care to make a quality product. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but did they make it or did they buy it from someplace else?
I don't know. But what I will say is, if I were going to buy it, I know at one time they had to get a sample to see if they were going to try to sell it, right? So they would have to know that there's a 1/4 inch gap between the tray and the bottom board. So if there's a 1/4 inch gap, that's a 1/4 inch beetle hiding hole right there on the side. So we're going to try them, see what happens. Chris said he would just send them back and would have got the other ones. Well, I mean, that's another $200 something plus the shipping back. Plus I already had glued and stapled all the stuff down, right? So that doesn't work very well. But so we're going to give them a try. And then because of they're not long enough, right? They don't come all the way out to the edge of the bottom board with that slope, like the landing board part. So it's like it doesn't even it doesn't give them that landing board that they walk up on. So they actually will land on the landing board, the existing landing board. Then they got to walk up the tray to get up into the colony. Mm-hmm. So we're gonna, I mean, I understand I could shim it. That's not the issue. The issue is I bought it because I wasn't supposed to have to shim it. It was supposed to be ready to go, right? You put the wood, that's how they sell it, with the wood in the tray, and it's supposed to be a retro kit for that. So in my mind, and in the drawing they have on their site, it should have been one and done. So that's what I'm saying. Should be built right from the start. That's exactly how I feel about it. So if if it works, awesome. I mean, it better work because I've taken all of the stuff out there, right? Taking all the Swiffers out, which were loaded with beetles, loaded. So
I just want to say hi to Icy Mountain Honey. I don't think I've seen.
He's been in a couple times
in our chat today. Okay.
And so I even thought about buying one of them vacuum formers, right? And making my own trays to go in there. I mean, honestly, it's not much to it, right? It's a tray. It's on this particular unit, it's a tray with a grate system on top of it. But then all it is 3/4 inch wood around the top to, to give you a standoff. So I could have done that same thing if I had a tray that fit and just put a 3/4 inch wood around the top and nailed that down or screwed that down, and then that would have worked. So I'm looking at the next ones I get are probably going to be the full bottom boards, but it's just
the $50 ones.
Well, Daydance are the bottom boards are $45 a piece. So, I'm not a mathematical genius, but I know if you get 10, it's $450, right?
Yeah, but are they going to fit any better than the ones that you got right now?
Well, from the photo of the actual item, it looks like it, because the way they build their bottom boards is they've got the oh shoot, I thought I had it up there. Right here. All right, so let me share this, what I'm talking about here. Entire screen. We don't need audio. All right, so this is what I bought, right? It's just got the 3/4 inch wood that goes around. They make it look like this tray goes all the way to the edge, and that this grate system would be right in here, right? But when you push the grate system back to where the wood is for the standoff, the grate is actually kind of, the landing board piece is really kind of back here underneath where an entrance reducer would be. It's not long enough. And then when you go to, whoops, where's it at? All right, so this is how they sell the retro kit, right? But when they sell their bottom board, if I can get back to it, let's see, Beetle Trap bottom board. All right, so this is their version of it, right? So now you've got the 3/4 width here, but look, what's that, like a 1x1 or a 1x2 or something right here on both sides?
Yeah.
To make it more narrow, right? But this is the same tray, just minus the grate on top of it. And it's got screen. So now it's coming in from the back. The bees come in from this side. This is more like what Chris has.
All right, so that's the rear end of the thing.
This is the rear. This is because you see how that's higher where the bees can land and come in, right? So this is more like your Freeman style bottom board. And then it's got the front is like that. And this piece comes out, or you can use the tray. See, and that even looks different. You see how they have it right here? It looks different than that picture. So what are you getting? Do you know? Looks different to me. Maybe it's not, but so that's kind of
that looks like more of a landing board than it does a bottom board.
Yeah, so this one, it looks like a landing board with the screen, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like both of them together. This one's cypress, and it comes with the black tray in it as well. So you can use either piece. So, but that's $41, right? For $3 more, if I can go back, it's the same tray, same bottom board, but it's already been painted. But it's pine and not cypress. So I
don't think the cypress is going to do any better.
So that's $44.95, and it's already painted to go straight on, right? Which is fine, but again, shipping is free, but 10 of those is $450. So it's just a scaling thing. So I just spent $400 on the other ones. That was $50.
Well, take the ones you got now and first let's test them out and see how they work.
Well, I feel the only thing is I feel like I'm in a race against the hive beetles, right? So that's kind of the only
thing. I see what you're saying. You got a situation there where you're losing hives because of them damn things and all that.
I had one Swiffer sheet I pulled out had so many beetles on it that the beetles were walking on the beetles to not get trapped in the Swiffer sheet.
Amazing.
And as soon as I mean, so some of them colonies were
Now,
pretty.
now, have you checked that other bottom board again? The one that you put in that Chris gave you?
Yeah, it's catching more beetles. So as beetles come in, they're just falling down in the trap. So it's working. They're eating the liquid feed I've got on top. There's no beetles in the pollen patty I put on it. So, those are the things. If I can eliminate the beetles, then I'm not really limited anymore about putting on pollen patty and stuff like that, like I was before, right? I always said you couldn't put but that much, and then it would get slimed out. But if we can eliminate that, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, $45. I mean, you're going to pay 20 something bucks for a regular. Well, I think I have seen.
I think they're like $30 anymore. It seemed like.
So for $15, it's not that much. But the thing is that I'm replacing all of the ones that I've got already, and maybe I'm making a bigger thing of it than it is. I mean, like Charlie, if you had to go out there and replace all your bottom boards with $45, every colony you have, I mean, 30 colonies times $45. What's that?
It's a lot,
I mean, that's $1,350. And I say that where some people may not get that that thing, $1,350. I mean, a lot of the people in our chats won't even buy boxes because they build their own, right? Because it's cheaper. So it's like, well, just to stroke that check, $1,350.
Well,
maybe it's like ripping the Band-Aid off. Do it one time.
Yeah, you just I don't know.
But if you can put that on there and not worry about hive beetles again, it's definitely worth the money. It's just that initial replacement. Going forward, if I'm building a new colony and I need some bottom boards, like 10 bottom boards, well, yeah, then I'll just buy them right out of the gate and, not worry about that. But yeah, it's definitely a thing. So
how's your beehives in general? Are they strong? Are they ready to go?
Some of them are. Some of them, I mean, the ones that are strong were really pissy today when I started putting those bottom boards on. They did not want me messing with them. Now, I did see beetles in there, so I know that they're just, I mean, you take them off and there's bees all over the bottom board, and they're just harassing beetles around the bottom. So hopefully those beetles get in the beetle traps, and then they're not as.
What are you putting down? What's the liquid you're putting down there?
I put baby oil in them. So not a lot. You don't need a lot. Just once they hit it and they start to walk in it, they can't get up the sides of anything anyway after that point. So, yeah, we're going to see that, but I'm really tempted to go ahead and order 10 more just the whole bottom board, and just get them. And, it's not going to be one of those easy to swallow type of deals, but, again, 7 colonies that I've lost already would have paid for that.
There's $2,800 right
there. That's where you and I think like that,
That's $400 a colony.
So,
and if you look at well, you figure if you get 50 pounds of honey off of each lawn, that's at minus the bottles, you're looking at $400 worth of income you lost.
Right.
Or $500 gross income.
And $200 nuke in the spring.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, that's definitely exactly. We're thinking about the same things here. So it's just like, I was just a little bit disappointed with those pans because the dimensions don't match the dimensions of the bottom boards. So it's what they're showing in the picture and what you
How
get.
many of them you got still left?
Oh, I put them all out.
Oh,
Everyone
you
I
got them all on?
Yeah, I put them all out. I feel like crap doing it, but they're on there. I mean, I'm gonna check them, and that's the other thing. You gotta. I'll have to basically tear the whole colony down to be able to pull the tray, because there's gonna be bees on top of it and in the creases, right?
Can't you take a wire with a hook on it and pull that thing out the front?
Maybe I might be able to. I might be able to make a wire to just snatch the whole, drag it out.
It won't fit. It doesn't come out from underneath that shim.
Yes.
In the box.
So on the solid bottom board, you know how the sides are 3/4 inch wide. All you do is you're adding 3/4 inch.
Yeah, I got all that, but
it's in the middle.
But with the other style that you're talking about, the tray's underneath of all that.
Right. So you can just pull it out without any
worry. You should have looked a little closer on that one.
So that's the but again, if it knocks down the beetles that are in those colonies, then I mean, if it works, it works. But I'm just a little leery that they have that 1/4 inch gap to go down, you know. And maybe it works. I hope it works. I mean, for the $400 I've already spent on them. And they got them quick. Daydam was quick. I mean, I ordered them, they shipped them.
Yeah, that's why it's just like, you know, you guys talk about me and the hive lifter. I want to see the damn thing. I want to feel it. I want to test it. I want to move it, you know, and it's just too much money to spend without taking a chance,
without putting your hands on it. Like, had I seen this and if I had been able to go to Daydam and take that and put it in a bottom board, I would have been able to see, oh, well, this don't even fit right. I'm not going to necessarily do that. Right.
Exactly. That's what I get. That's what I'm talking about. You know, it's like I told James and him, I said, you know, and like Brad's got the one style, James has got the other style. If I could compare them, physically compare them by, you know, doing a test lift and things like that, you know, would I like this or would I like that type of thing?
Then it's a little bit different. But but yeah, so I mean, that's the idea right there. So I don't know if it's going to work. I hope it will, because what I have done is actually take the I've taken the Swiffers out, right? Because I want to see this thing catch beetles. So don't know with that, but we're going to try. I did have someone leave a nice comment on a video that said, anyone foolish enough to steal advice from on a YouTube video. And I said, well, obviously you don't watch much of my stuff, and that's okay, because if you did, you'd understand I really don't care what you think. And that was the the end of that, right? I mean, for now.
Well, he said what? Because you were smoking?
Yeah, you know, the live when I was doing the update on the bottom board, and I pulled it out and I was sitting on the bucket. Well, when the video very first started, I was smoking a cigarette and I threw it out and finished the video. And that was their comment. That's the only thing they gathered. People like that I have zero time for. You know, if the only thing you gather was, oh, Bob's smoking a cigarette and there's no other knowledge here.
I was watching that other live. It was on there with
Mike Berry.
No, the guy up in Michigan or wherever it is, Illinois, the master beekeeper guy.
Oh, is he live tonight? I didn't even look.
He was. Yeah, he was. He had Dr. whatever his name is from up at Better Bee.
Oh.
The science guru, Peck. And somebody asked him about oxalic acid sheets. And I'm like, are you stupid or what? They're illegal. You know, he wanted to know how long he should let them stay in there. And I'm like, he ain't going to answer you. he skirted around it pretty damn good the way what Peck did say. And it's like, people, know your products.
Well, we
Know
talk
what,
about stuff
know what's legal and what isn't.
Well, we talk about stuff on this channel that is not necessarily legal all the time. But it's being done.
Right? What I'm getting at is Peck is a science guy. Peck has got a job, and he can't just say anything. He's got to stay within the form. And these people should know that. But I think a lot of those folks on his channel are very brand new. They were talking about oxalic acid, about he said the old beekeepers tell me that it's all the same. Well, he can't say that Apis biologic is Apis bioxyl or whatever, it's the blessed, it's the thing that's been blessed by the EPA. Right. That's all he can tell. It's just, I don't know.
Let's see, but yeah, I just I'm missing messages over here. People texting my phone.
Yeah, that's right. It was Dave Burns. That's who it was.
Certified Master Beekeeper David Burns.
Yeah.
Pan with the cooler. Yeah, so yeah, I mean that's the only thing that bugs me is that they don't say anything about discrepancies. And now, in fairness, it was like a 3D image. It wasn't a photo of it. But
yeah, but you were expecting one thing and it wasn't.
Well, I mean, I got what the picture showed, but it didn't fit like the picture showed, so that's the thing. So
it was floating in air too.
Yeah, it was exploded view. But but yeah, that's what I did. I did the 15 bottom boards. I put them all on. So I've got 16 colonies that have a hive beetle ish system on it. And like I said, I've used just about every kind of hive beetle treatment or trap or beetle jail or whatever. If it's out there, I've used it. I've tried it. Guardian hive entrances, all of that stuff. I've tried it. And for the most part.
Is that them red looking things?
Yeah, Hokum. I mean, it's like I didn't really notice any difference using those bottom or those entrances as any other entrance. Matter of fact, the upper entrances, the round disc, I think it confuses the bees even on how to get it in and out of them. But yeah, so I mean that is what it is, man. I'll just continue to on my quest, I guess. And once I figure it out, it'll be figured out forever. I hope.
Right.
That's it. Bob tries everything so you don't have to. It costs me a lot of money to try stuff. And that's why I'm getting to the point to where it's like, yeah, I need to replace these, but it's $1,350. Put a strip of Reflectex in the 1/4 inch space. It's an idea. Cut a bunch of strips of Reflectex and just slide it up in that wall.
I'd cut a strip of wood myself. Something that's tight.
Yeah.
Reflector, they could get inside that stuff. If you're talking about bubble stuff, that bubble stuff.
But yeah, that's kind of what I'm dealing with. But I will say that there's no beetles in the pollen patty that I put on that colony the other day, and they're drinking the syrup down. I pulled it off and looked down in there. They're all right there at the little feeder. So do bees pay for themselves? They do if you can keep them alive.
Hey, Brad. Yeah, I mean,
everybody.
If you know how to manage the bees and I mean, depending on what you're trying to do, either whether you're making nuke and selling nukes or whether you're making honey and selling honey. Yeah, once you get up to scale, you can't Bees can't pay for themselves when you have 4 hives. You
Right.
better have 10 or 12 hives or something like that. And you got to be in an area that's going to generate a lot of nectar for them to make honey.
So, hey, Brad, how was your day today?
Exhausting.
I'm still fighting this flu symptoms.
Yeah.
So I
not
never
feeling better.
understood that. Even being in the pharmaceutical industry, it is a dormant virus. It's supposed to be a dead virus, right? Not active. So why is it that when they inject it, you get the damn flu symptoms, the fever? I had a fever and chills all night long.
Well, I don't know much, but here's what I would say. It's not the vaccine that's giving you the symptoms. It's your body's reaction to the vaccine that's giving you the symptoms.
The immune system trying to get
Well,
it out.
yeah, because the whole idea behind a vaccine is to make your body create antibodies against that virus, right? So perhaps it's the body's production of whatever it produces in response to that, because it is a dead, it's a decoy. Really,
Right.
it's something that looks like the virus and that can make the body go into action on it. So it's got to be, because really, when you have something like a head cold, right?
Right.
You get all congested and snotty and everything. You blow your nose constantly, and there's constantly, whatever. I don't want to be too gross, but that's not the rhinovirus creating that. That's your body creating that,
Right.
right? So
I
I
noticed
don't know. Is it maybe the same thing?
I notice when I get stung that my sinuses clear themselves out because the histamines that the body's putting off to try to fight the vaccine that the bees have given you.
Yeah.
And
And that's a good analogy. The bee stings. It's like the bee sting is one thing, but a lot of times what we see as the effect of the bee sting isn't necessarily the bee sting or the venom. It's the body's reaction to it, right? That's what anaphylaxis is. That bee sting does not cause anaphylaxis. The body causes anaphylaxis because it freaks out, it loses its mind, and it doesn't know what to do, and it overreacts, right? So it's kind of reaction to it.
I'm going to ask your opinion on this. So you saw the Beetle bottom boards or the inserts that I was buying, right?
Yeah, I was loosely kind of listening that there was a problem with that.
Well, you see how it sits in a bottom board right there.
Yeah.
Right? Well, there's about a 1/4 inch. If it's pushed all the way back and on the sides, there's about a 1/4 inch gap there that would not.
Now, is this bottom board made by the same manufacturer?
Yeah, see that?
Is the bottom board made by the same manufacturer?
Probably not. I mean, I bought the bottom boards, right? But it's a 10 frame bottom board. And my 10 frame boxes do fit perfect on those 3/4.
Okay.
Shims.
Was this product designed to fit in a bottom board made with 7/8 material? That would be a 1/4 inch difference.
Don't know.
Yeah. All I'm saying really is bottom boards I've found there's not really a tight tolerance on them. It's whoever builds them. And yeah, I would, and this solution wouldn't work for everybody, but or at least they may not be able to implement it just as easily as I can. I'd just jump on the table saw and rip something a 1/4 inch and stick it in there.
That's what I do.
That's all I do.
And that way they can't walk down that side.
But I would buy.
What is it? A 3/4 inch high?
Yeah.
Easy peasy. Just take a piece of board of some kind and rip a 1/4 inch strip off it and tap it in there.
Other than that, I mean,
Does that piece have to come out? Do you have to take that slotted thing out of there
Yeah,
to
it's
service it?
yep. So
Okay,
the whole tray slides out, right?
so you don't want to make it real tight. You just kind of want to make it not accessible by beetles. So make it 3/16. Beetle can't get in a 16th inch gap.
And then it just, I mean, other than that, it's pretty basic, right? I mean, it's a basic thing, and it just almost like a queen excluder on there, but that's just how it fits in there.
So what's the deal? The beetles go down the cracks,
Yep.
or
And in the bottom, there's oil, right?
yeah.
So the bees chase the beetles down the holes,
So
and then they can't get
it's
back
just
out.
a really giant beetle blaster, really, is what it is.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah. That sounds good.
Of course, until bees start propolising all these
Yeah.
things right here.
Thing is, you need that thing made out of stainless steel so that you can take it out and put it in a hot water to clean it off.
So that's that was the only dilemma. Plus, the picture made it look like this piece would be further out. Like I can't use an entrance reducer because the entrance reducer goes right over where this landing board piece is. It should have came all the way out here. So
reducer.
But yeah, so this was just an attempt to use some of my existing bottom boards and convert them, right?
Yep.
And so we're gonna see.
Oh yeah.
See how it goes. I mean, they're on there, but it's just a one of those things that now it's like, do I buy more of those? Don't know, or do I just go ahead and bite the bullet and buy the other bottom boards?
No, I'd fix those up. That's easy. That's super easy. And again, like I say, there's no tolerance on. Like you see entrance reducers that are supposed to go between those two parts of the bottom board. Those never fit right because the bottom boards are never exactly
right. And then over time they start to do their thing.
There's wood movement and all that.
Well, that was a good thing with putting those shims on there. I was able to like run glue in some cracks and nail my bottom boards back together or staple them back together. Yeah, that's what Donnie says. Too small will fit many bottoms. Bigger trays run the risk of not fitting some. Well, my only thing was they are marketed as a 10 framer, right?
Well, again,
if it was
that tray, tray might fit in my bottom board. My bottom board is made of 7/8 sides.
Of course, it'll fit yours. You don't have any hive beetles. That's perfect. Why they would fit yours?
It's kind of pointless. Why would I buy that?
Yeah. So that was my thing, and
so I wore out myself and my wife today. We pulled the honey at the out yard today. So we didn't pull it all. There was some that didn't clear, so we left them. There's 18 boxes left out there, so we'll run over there tomorrow and get those. But pulled the rest of it. 67 boxes. 67 boxes. We pulled off of there today.
I pulled 6 yesterday.
6. Well, get busy. You got work to do, young man.
Yeah, I still have 19 to get, but I'm letting the nectar cure a bit.
Yeah, is that working?
Yeah, it is. Like a whole lot more is cured and capped. So maybe by next week, everything is going to be removable.
Good.
And I'll get a fall crop. So far, I got 7 full of 7 5-gallon pails, and I still have 19 supers to get. They're mediums, but it's going to look like they're all going to be full.
Well, I got 18 to go and get, so we're even.
So you got 60 pounds in a pail, Alex?
Yeah, about. And I got 7 so far out of. That's the second extraction I've made. So let's say that's out of 12 supers, I got 7 full pails of of honey.
420 pounds. It's good.
And I still have 19 to get out of.
You
the
still got
deal.
more to go, so you'll have 500 or 600 pounds at least, if not
Maybe
more.
1,000 if I'm
So-
lucky.
So when I change the
I don't
oil
know.
in there, I'm gonna have to tear the whole thing down, right? I'm gonna have to take the brood box off. Everything's got to come off. Then I'll have to slide that out. Then I'll have to bang all the bees off and make sure no bees get in the oil. It's going to be a little bit of a pain in the butt.
How often is that?
It said every 14 days you should clean it.
Or what you could do is
No.
you could drill a 1/4-inch hole in the rear end of your rim, and then you have a push rod. You can push it out the front.
That's
That
an
makes a
idea.
lot of sense.
Actually, I already
Or-
have 1/4-inch hole in a lot of them because of the oxalic acid. Just
There you
run a
go.
piece of clothes hanger through there and push it out the front.
Right. Or take a piece of clothes hammer and make a hook that you can grab that thing and pull it out the front.
Saves
Well, I
you a
can
whole
push it
lot
out
of
the
work.
back, then grab it from the front.
Or you could buy a 60,000 like easy loader.
Buy an
Just
easy
remove
loader.
the trace.
Just get me a hive lifter. Lift them up off the bottom board. That's the that's the dilemma, right? So it's always something. I mean, for me, it's more right now. The dilemma for me is getting myself to say, okay, I want to spend $2,000 to replace all my bottom boards with these, and then I've got all these other bottom boards that now are not being used, right? So, that's the biggest thing for me. It's just getting myself to say, yeah, let's just write that check and get
Yeah,
it coming.
I know the feeling of like having useless gear.
I'd
I
much
still-
rather buy the frames I need as compared to the new bottom boards for everything, right?
Yeah, but when I started out, I bought screened bottom boards, and I ended up hating those. What that means, I have 6 bottom boards just gathering dust. I don't want to throw them out, but they're just taking space.
Randy makes a good point there about the bees. Will the bees be in the way when you pull that thing out?
Yeah, they will. Absolutely. So that's the whole thing, tearing it all down, bang the bees off, right? and put it back. But I noticed immediately on that first one, the demeanor change of the bees when there was no beetles in the hive. The demeanor of the bees totally changed. And I should have videoed it, but it started looking like it was going to rain, and I was feeling like crap, and I was just trying to get it done. But yeah, you're always going to have bees on the bottom board, right? But I have a ton of bees on the bottom. I mean, it's just like covered with bees because they're just chasing beetles around the bottom of the colony and harassing them, and they're just pissy. So hopefully this will eliminate a bunch of beetles and relieve some of their stress and get them back doing what they should be doing right now. And
Well, everything that we're picking apart on this thing, it sounds like to me that you don't never want to buy these again. You want to buy the ones where they're underneath the screen.
yeah, well, the other ones are $17 more each, right? So that's
And you don't have to lift any hives either.
right. So that's the thing. Again, I was trying to utilize what I have, and that was the biggest thing. But they might work perfect. I don't know. I'm just saying it doesn't look like what I was expecting. And besides, anybody foolish enough to smoke, nobody should take advice from me anyway. That's what someone put on a YouTube comment. They said that anyone foolish enough to smoke, then I'm not going to take any advice from them. I'm like, good. And in the back of my mind, I'm like, well, I hope all your hives get slimed out from hive beetles because you look past the 30 seconds of me smoking on there, right? So hopefully they can get over themselves. But watch this.
Oh no, he smokes.
So yeah, that's what Russell says. Go big or go home. That's it. Probably an ex-smoker. That's it.
So you made some more creamed honey, Alex?
No, not yet.
Hey, I just want to say, not that it means anything or makes a difference, but I was so proud the other day. Your face was so lit up when you were talking about that creamed honey. And it to me, it was like the light bulb came on and you're like, holy crap, we can make money with honey and fund my stuff. You know, that to me, that was like, yes.
I need to set a space near my entrance, so like probably just like a small counter with my honey products in there and drapes to mask the living room, so it just doesn't look like a house when somebody drops in for honey.
Just put you you know what? I thought about this. I I do pest control for this property management company, and they always have a lockbox on the front that has a 4-digit number code or something. And if someone like ordered it, you could have it locked in that box with that box on there. And then they would just have the code, right? They pay you by Cash App or whatever. They swing by, they go to the box until they lose it or forget to lock it or something. Then you're in trouble. But other than that, if they're responsible people, they probably would be able to do that.
I've seen people using the honor system, like just leave honey in the cabinet outside the house, and people.
I use the honor system where I live.
I wouldn't do that here.
Down the street would have a free jar of honey.
I wouldn't do that here.
And
but it's nice if you can do that. Or rather, I should say, it's nice wherever you can do that.
It's like Flower, or was it Russell there? He made 50 jars of lemon cream honey.
My thing is I gotta actually start the process. I've got the creamed honey, the seed, and I've got the honey to do it, but I'm trying to figure out how much I want to do. And I'm thinking that I want to do 5 gallons, but I want to split it into 2.5 gallons and 2.5 gallons of different, like 2 different flavors, like cinnamon and.
I'd make more cinnamon than anything else, honestly. It sells like that.
I think I mentioned that, didn't I? Cinnamon honey, the easiest thing to make and the best seller.
Well, I need to figure out how you can keep the seasoning or the flavoring from all rising to the top when you're doing it.
It doesn't all rise, but it does make it like a foam. My guess is putting it in the refrigerator would force it.
That's a function of your creamed honey. That's a function of how your creamed honey sets. So if your creamed honey sets more firmly, then it doesn't settle out in a remarkable fashion. If your creamed honey sets much softer, then any addition you put in there will tend to settle out up to the top. So, you have to work on that cream set. And that's what canola honey is good for. It makes a nice firm set creamed.
Well, it's gonna set relatively quick anyway, right? So
it sets quick anyway, but canola honey actually can make a really beautiful creamed honey all by itself. Just pour some canola liquid in a jar and let it sit. And sometimes if it sits at the right temperature, it'll make the most beautiful creamed honey.
And then
Are you making a batch, Alex, where let's say you made 2 gallons of just, regular creamed honey, and then pouring so much into another bucket that's going to be your one flavor, and then another
Probably
bucket.
The best way to go.
Huh?
Like start with a large reserve of creamed honey, then add the flavoring.
Yeah, in a different bucket, or you're not, that's how.
Then pour
That's
it.
how Brian does it. Brian, he has his
Multiple
cream
buckets.
honey, and then he has individual flavor buckets where he puts so much of the regular straight stuff in there and mixes it.
Yeah, but the mixer is on its way. I should get it soon.
Look
Good
at
for you.
That's what I said. Look at you, upscaling already. That light is going ding 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 ding.
Yeah,
ding,
I gotta set my entrance because the way my house is set, like the front entrance, the living room is to your left, and to the right you have the door to my room, then the main corridor to the kitchen and dining room. So what I could do is put drapes so they don't see inside my house, say in the corridor, and set part of the living room to put a counter with the products being displayed, so they don't see my TV set and my router and stuff like that. It's just a nice white or maybe honey yellow drape. But
So you're trying to make a little storefront inside your house.
Yeah, basically. Because I can't, like I said, unless I rent
They never get inside my
a
house.
kitchen.
Like I go to the door. How much do you want? Okay, I'll be right back. Ding ding.
Yeah, but it wouldn't take much space. It's the size of one counter. And anyway, I haven't started making stuff like that. It's just an idea that's floating around. What do you guys think of this idea? Should I bother with it?
Do you have a lot of foot traffic already?
No.
Because it kind of would go along with that. Like how many people would actually be doing that, and where are you selling your honey? Like this one time you did sell, you went to an event. Like obviously it was a work event and whatnot, but you went there. So that's a perfectly viable way to do it. You can just go to events. You could go to markets. You could go to, whatever. Then you start to get a name for yourself. Once people start to want to come pick up honey, then that's the time to really.
Yeah, I had somebody come to pick up some honey. Like my first person actually phoning me in, "You sell honey?" Told him what I had, and said, "I'll be there in about 30 minutes."
I try to get people to tell me what they want, so that I can have it ready, like get it out and have it, so that I'm not running around. People that just show up, that's just kind of,
Yeah, you called
me a
first.
lot of extra work.
I was grateful for that. I do have about 4 cases of bottled honey. It's not labeled yet, but labeling is like peel it off, put it on. But and since I only have, for now, only one product, it's not much of a bother.
But I don't think there's anything, personally, I don't think there's anything wrong with your idea of cordoning off a small area. There's nothing wrong with that.
You just get a curtain and has a bunch of bees all over it.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Or just a bunch of bees,
Yeah, a curtain of bees in my house. No.
That'll keep them from coming into your personal space.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, no.
Might not be very good for sales. Yeah, that's right. I tried that U-Pick honey farm one time. Yeah, that kind of thing doesn't work.
That's funny.
I don't know. They come in here and, I've had a couple of new people coming in. The first thing they ask is it this year's honey? And when did you extract it? I'm like, okay, whatever. Where's the beehives out? I get that a lot. It's like behind the barn. If you want to go up and look at them, get stung, that's fine.
Yeah, my hives are a bit far. They're about 25 minutes away from my house. But
then I have some customers come in, and like one gal, she comes in and I think she gets 3 3-pound bottles at a time every month or two. And, but she'll text, she's got my number and she'll text me and say, "Hey, I need, the 3 bottles or whatever." I said, "Well, come over tomorrow or whatever, what time it is, and she'll stop by and buy it type of thing. Set up an appointment. A lot of times it's after work type thing. So that's, you just got to have some supply on hand in the house, ready to go at a moment's notice. And like Brad says, you got to get the word out, or it'll build by people. Oh, this stuff is great, and that one will tell this one, and this one will tell that one, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I need to find myself like a small table and make a display. Something simple and inexpensive at first, and as I get more clients, maybe a bigger count, like an actual counter. But we'll see. I'll start with a table
inside your house or whatever.
Huh?
You mean for inside your house?
Yeah.
Well, don't
Nothing
dwell
super
on all
fancy.
that. Just make sure that you got 10 bottles of product in there, because they want to buy 1 or 2 bottles of it. Put a little fold up table there or something. Whatever.
Yeah, that's what I thought at first, like a small IKEA table.
Yeah, all that stuff may be fine. Like, there's nothing wrong with all that stuff, but it's not going to sell you honey, right?
Yeah.
It's once they get in there, then they're going to buy honey.
But your customer doesn't care what the table looks like or the.
They're not even going to be there long enough to think about it.
Yeah, all they want to do is say, "Here's your money. Give me the honey or the spread or whatever, and see you later," and that kind of a thing. So
Yeah, because I had another one call me, and she told me this looks like the area doesn't look like there's a store. It looks like a residential area. Yes, I'm a small time beekeeper with 10 hives. I sell from my house. Okay, bye. Bye. I don't like if I'm gonna get snubbed because I don't have a freaking storefront.
What's the mentality of that? Usually when they come in, they're looking for local honey, and they'll come in and that's why they're asking where the beehives are. That's when was it harvest and all that. I said, first thing I right off the bat, I said, I'm the beekeeper, because here you're at the sawmill. And I said, I'm the beekeeper. I said, the bees are behind this barn up here. If you want to go up and look at them, go ahead, And
You laughing at my screen share, Brad?
What's that?
You said you laughing at my screen share?
Yeah. I'm going to tell you something, Alex, and I'm going to poke my finger in your chest. Okay, I don't want to ever hear you say I'm a small-time beekeeper, and you're coming to my house to buy honey. Okay, you got to think different than that for your business. Okay, I'm the beekeeper. I am a beekeeper, and I make custom flavored honey products. There's stuff like that. Like it's not just I'm just a hobbyist with 2 hives.
Blow yourself up.
No, I'm the beekeeper. I keep the bees. I produce honey, and I have my own proprietary recipes for cinnamon honey, and it's the best in the land. You will taste not its equal anywhere.
Yeah, well, I was like that snobbish attitude I got from the first one that called. Kind of like I'm not used to interacting with people. I'm a hermit.
Yeah,
I'm
you got to get out
really
of that.
bad at interacting with strangers. So
first rule is not every customer is your customer.
Yeah, I know that was the first lady that called. The second guy didn't seem to give her.
So don't
there was construction going on. You just grabbed the honey and went. Sorry,
don't be afraid to fire a customer if they're not your customer, because not every customer understands that they're not your customer. You have the right to make that choice too. If you market to everyone, you market to no one. You need to market to a sector. You need to market to a group of people, a community, a type of customer. You have to decide who your customer is. Market to that person or that group. If you market to everyone, you market to no one.
All right. Find the kind of people I'd like to sell to, basically.
So you're a creative guy, so you can come up with innovative packaging, labeling, presentation, stuff like that. So, use those skills, use that imagination and that creativity, and you can create yourself some pretty exclusive products, right? I've positioned my product as a premium product among my customers in my stores, and people who are looking for a discount or cheap honey, I've had them phone. Oh, I can get that, and I just say, good
Go get it.
Go get it, because I don't have
And-
any cheap honey, so you don't come
Yeah,
here.
they'll come in here and they'll go to the local Walmart or whatever, box store. Well,
Yeah,
I can get that for $3. I said, well, go ahead and buy that Chinese honey.
Yeah.
the honey.
They're like, what? And then I says, oh, by the way, turn that bottle around and see where it came from. Because it's going to say Brazil, India, Bangladesh, or whatever. I said,
Yeah,
that
China
is
is rerouting their funny honey through all those countries.
and that's what I'm talking about, Alex. You explain that to them because they don't know. They don't know that. You tell them about that. It's your storyline. Oh, I want to buy it from you because it's real honey.
And they don't need to know you only got 10 colonies. You got 150 colonies on your dad's farm.
No, I didn't tell that to her. That was my thought process. Sorry, I didn't clarify.
No, but we're changing your mindset here.
Picture
Okay.
picture who you want to be, and be that person today. Right? Picture the business that you
as if you
envision
already
this
have it.
being.
I've heard that before.
What's that?
See what you desire as if you've already had it, or something
Well,
along
yeah,
those
there's-
ways.
That could be taken a long ways, but
Someone
But
told me
no,
a long time ago the way to be successful is surround yourself with successful people. So
Exactly.
you learn,
surround
learn
yourself with
very-
people
you
that
guys
look
are
like
for.
what you want to be.
if you hang around the guys that are happy with what they've got and where they're at, well, then you tend to migrate to their ways of thinking, right?
Show me your friends, I'll show you your future.
Yep. So, God, knowing with you guys in here, my future's looking bleak.
I'm not here for the long haul. I'm just here for a quick visit.
Russell says here, have you got a taste test type thing?
Yes, I made squeeze bottle to taste the honeys I made, but somebody took off with my sample of cinnamon honey. And I brought the leftovers to our family party, and
See?
I had
Is that good?
one.
You know what might
that
be an
good? You turned somebody
interesting
into a
marketing
thief.
scheme for you. This
Two
might be
people talking.
This
at
might
once.
be an interesting marketing scheme for you. Buy a small test bottle, right? Squeeze bottle, and label what it is with your label and phone number on it, and take it to like an office and say, hey, I just wanted to give you guys these for your break room. And so they're tasting it and they're like, oh, well, this is great. And it's got the number. Where can I get some of this? Now it's got your number on it.
Yep. I do that stuff all the time. I will put honey everywhere I can get it. And make sure your phone number's on the jar.
And it,
Yeah, I handed out
when you get
some of my extra
phone, Alex.
nutrition value labels. My contact info is on there because I have to. Like, I don't have a business card. Here, have a nutrition value. My phone number and address are there.
That's a good interim solution for sure. But definitely get those cards.
The other thing is get a cell phone, and I'm going to tell you why. You can mute and turn your cell phone down, and people can text your cell phone number. But if you've got a landline, they cannot do that, and you can't. Well, you can turn the ringer down, but then it's a little bit different. Even if it's just the cheapest cell phone that's on the market, that'll send a text. It's worth it, in my opinion. Which I smoke.
I do a lot of business over text. People will phone me. Actually, people will phone me, especially if I'm like in the bee yard or something. I answer the phone. You have honey? Can I order honey? Yeah. Especially if it's a new customer or whatever, and I'll just ask them, "Can you text message me?" Yep. Okay. You text message me this information. What do you want? What's your name? Where do you live? All this kind of stuff, and I'll get you some honey. Okay. So then I get a text message. When I get done my work, I just review my texts and I set up the delivery or pickup or whatever.
Yeah, that's for a store or something, right? Brad?
Oh no, that's everybody. But some of my stores, they text message me, "Hey, we need some honey, bring it by." So they send me an order. They just say bring honey. A lot of times.
Yeah.
Well, so yeah, I ordered 20 bottom boards.
Yeah, I noticed. Yeah, I gathered.
Well, I mean,
does the new model work as well as the other one?
I don't know because I just put it in and it was getting ready to rain, so I didn't stay out there and check. But I did see on one of the bottom boards a beetle go down in the hole, and I imagine he's gone. So
didn't come back.
But the thing is, if I need it, I need it, right? It just doesn't matter. It's pay me now or pay me later. I'm going to have to get them. So I might as well just take the wounds, take the body blows. And, then instead of buying the ones that I've got, or unless trust me, I'll find a way. Mr. Sam, he's like a genius when it comes to, he's the only one that I know of that he'll open up a 5-frame nuke and he'll have a plastic liquor bottle in there that has the top cut out with pine straw in it. And he uses it as a feeder, sets it on top of the frames, and they just come right up in inside the hive feeder, with a liquor bottle. Yeah, it'll pay for itself. I'm hoping.
Charlie's idea of just using hooks or a push rod is pretty good. It should solve your problem. You won't have to dismantle the whole hive.
All right,
but he bought the better bottom board this time.
Yeah,
he bought the one that's complete, where he's going to completely replace it, and the tray comes out of the back end of the building, and it's underneath.
Right, same tray just comes out of the back, and it's designed with the wood and the screen, so that gap doesn't make a difference anymore. So, what are you doing up so late? Isn't it past your bedtime, sir?
That it is.
So, what you up to?
I was just getting done watching that video you put out with those bottom boards.
Oh, I saw you text me. You watched it a while ago, unless you watched it again.
I watched it again to see what you could do to make those work properly.
Yeah, probably shim the side.
Yeah, put a shim there and turn it around, and
but there's
cut a hole in the back and put a piece of wood on the back in the backside and attach it to that frame of the.
I could flip it around and cut a section out of the 3/4 material and have a small, just flip the whole bottom board around.
Right, because otherwise you're going to have a problem just trying to get that out, because you're going to be pulling out bees. You're going to be pulling out, and when you put it back in, you're going to smash bees.
So that's the, but they'll be much nicer bees if there's no hive beetles in there.
They still don't want to get smashed.
Yeah, definitely don't want to smash them. That's for sure. But it's the bottom boards I ordered use the same tray, but they're already assembled and everything, and that tray's in the back. So it's $900 for 20 of them.
Oh, so you could reuse the same ones you got then. That's good.
Well, yeah. I don't have, like, with what I bought, I don't have enough for all my colonies as it is, right? I've got almost all of the ones on the stands next to the house done, but I've got the whole side that doesn't have them. And
well, you can't do any of your nukes, so.
Well, I can put them in a bigger box, right? I can put them in a bigger box. Let the beetles drop off of them, and and then maybe it'll work better. So we're gonna see. I mean, did I want to spend that $900? No, it's like I didn't. I mean, so now I've spent $1,300 in the last week on beetle gear, right? But again, if it saves the colonies in the long run, it's worth it. Thank God in 2 weeks I got a nice paycheck coming, so can at least justify suffering for 2 weeks until it comes in.
Now, are you going to Myrtle Beach in October?
Yeah, I'm just going up there for the dinner and then coming home.
Well, I'll be there too. So
supposedly I'm getting a watch.
yeah, because it's your first time. They're
They
nice.
said
They're nice watches.
like a Bolivar or something.
And
Yeah, I
Mickey
still have
Mouse
mine
watch.
somewhere in a box. Oh,
So-
sorry. This is what you get after 15 years.
Oh,
I don't
can't
know
see
if you
it.
can see it.
Ring.
Yeah, with 3 diamonds.
Nice.
I don't know what I'll be getting for 20. I only have one more year to go before I get that one.
I spend 10 times as much on cable and hardly watch it. Yep, that's true. But
I
yeah,
haven't had cable since 2005.
but the
Me since 2004.
but yeah, so these
What's
bottom
cable?
board
Yeah.
cable, they don't have cable out there. You still got the old aerial.
Smoke signals.
Hey, I remember those things.
So it's gonna be interesting to see. Yeah, but Zach asked me today if I was going. I said, well, I'm going for the dinner and then I'm driving home. It's to me it's kind of about fairness with my wife, right? I'm not going to the beach and leave my wife here with my mom for the weekend, right? But if I've got to be there for the dinner, I'll go for the dinner and then I'll come back. And I'm not even going to stay overnight, but it is what it is. Do what we got to do.
I go fishing when I'm there.
Well, they're, I think, going golfing and,
No, I fish off the beach right outside the hotel.
So you're going to stay up there for the weekend, the whole thing?
Oh yeah, always. Anytime I can get free
And I ended up as
vacation.
third in the region. Jeff,
I know.
my buddy Jeff that works in the office with me, he was number 1. And then the number 2 guy had beat me by $100 in sales. And the funny thing was that I would have beat both of them had I not had cancellations.
Right. And went to training and
Yeah, the training and
oh yeah.
so it's fun. Brad's falling asleep back there, listening to Bug Talk. And he's muted.
I am muted. That's the way you couldn't hear me snoring.
What do you got on the agenda for tomorrow?
We're gonna try and get the rest of that honey out of that yard and maybe do some feeding and treating tomorrow.
Old Better Bee had a post today. Let's see if I can find it. I don't think it was very far up. And which is funny because I don't think they have that big of a issue with it, but they had a thing that had you can't leave he's like they had their honey frames that said you can't pull your honey and just let it sit here. And it had hive beetle larvae in it and slimed out after they pulled it off the colony, which is exactly why I say I only pull a little bit at a time. Whatever I can extract and get out like now, that's what I do.
Yeah, I get that. I'm sure glad I don't deal with that because it would really pollute my workflow. I usually get some honey pulled, get a few days of extracting it, and then I don't extract again for another week or 10 days because I had to pull the rest of the honey. So some of it might sit there until the end of the month.
I don't think Saracell got the memo either. They're going to Hive Life and not to the expo.
Maybe they'll go to both.
They could. I mean, his son's there, right? Too. they might.
See that storm there, Charlie? It's supposed to be heading up your way.
What's that?
The hurricane.
Hurricane
Hurricane Lee.
I don't know.
Hurricane Lee.
It rained here today. There was some rain coming out of the west, and actually it hailed a little bit. So it had some really pea-sized hail hit the house today. Other than
Never
that,
good
we
on
haven't
the
had
fire.
any rain for quite a while, so we were appreciative of it. I don't know what they're talking, whether that's going to come up my way or not.
Yeah, the rain
Yeah.
finally dropped down to normal levels for the for this time of year. We've had like maybe like a few millimeters, like maybe like 5 or 6, maybe like half an inch of water in the last 2 weeks, which is a welcome thing because honey was having a hard time drying out. So just in time for me to cure the last of the honey supers, I have to collect. I guess it's going to be done within a week.
Yeah, crazy thing is, I was sitting out there with my bees today, and another little swarm with a queen came and landed on one of the stands of another hive.
That's weird. The swarm tried to get into another hive, or at least
No,
just
no.
landed in front.
It just landed and landed on its leg of my.
Okay, on the leg.
Stand.
Okay, sorry.
So I just scooped them in a box and put them in one of my other hives that I had ready. So we'll see if they stay or not.
Never seen a swarm. Kind of glad for it, but I'd like to see one day.
I've seen a lot recently.
Well, my first year, I had a lot of them. Never saw them, but I had a lot of them. But for the last 3 years, I've been lucky to not have any swarms.
But Charlie, have you seen the swarms? They're only like maybe 200 bees with a queen. So far, that's 3 of them in the last week.
I think
They're
that's
they're after swarms of the main thing. It sounds like to me.
or it could be a virgin queen that went out to get mated and didn't find her way home.
No, that's 3 so far. In the last week, they just landed on my thing outside.
No, I've never had that.
I guess they know that they're going to get fed here.
Yeah, I guess.
Because I had that big one that came in that took over that big box, and I had 2 smaller ones.
Yeah, I didn't get any like. Bleh. I got my latest. Wow, I'm tired and having trouble speaking. I got my 2 problem hives to requeen themselves. Posted the video. It's going to be up tomorrow evening. But yeah, the smaller one, I gave them 3 frames, one of which had brood. So they'll have 3 frames of brood, an empty drawn frame, and I give them the rest is just nectar. So they'll be ready for in time for winter. So got 2 good news last time I went for a checkup on my bees.
Well, shoot. Are you off tomorrow, Chris? Or are you working tomorrow?
Oh, I'm
What in the world is that?
Music. Somebody's listening to music. Is that you, Chris?
I'm trying to turn it off.
At least we didn't hear that bounce.
Yeah, I'm just wondering.
I don't have that. I don't have that. I'm trying to turn that off. Here, I know how to turn it off real fast. There.
Thumbs up.
I don't even know where it was coming from because all I was trying to do is get on YouTube, and I couldn't even get YouTube up. But Probably have to turn my other big screen on to switch it over.
Russell
Let's
said he had 44 degrees this morning.
We've had the opposite over here. It went up to 32°C. I don't know how much it is in Fahrenheit.
7 here this morning. 7C. That's probably 44-ish. 45.
No, Bob, we had 95.
Yeah, I know. It was quite toasty today. Quite toasty out today for sure.
Beautiful day for pulling honey. Nice and sunny.
30C.
Hardly any breeze at all. Just enough to keep you cool and not warm, like
30
not
Celsius.
overly warm. Charlie, we can hear you again. And but he's got us muted so he can't hear us.
I was trying to figure out what 30 Celsius is.
Yeah, 30. What would that be? About 70?
Yeah.
Something in there.
86 degrees.
86. Okay.
Yeah, it was hot.
So anyway, beautiful, beautiful day for pulling honey today. The bees were not too crazy. They started to rob a little bit, but not crazy. Took a long time for them to start getting wild. By then we were about ready to leave, so it was just about perfect.
Well, it's about 10:45. I think I'll
Yep.
go ahead and shut the live stream off for this evening. One more work. Well, what's Brad say? Tomorrow's Friday. Only 3 more work days in this week.
Yeah, only 3 more days of work this week.
That's the life of a beekeeper. I don't have weekends anymore. At least not during summer.
So I think I came up with a thing, right? With that Carolina Reaper honey. I'll just pre-fill it in like a 1 ml syringe. And then instead of the 1 chip challenge, I'll have the 1 drip challenge. And sell it for $25 a piece, like they do that Pocky chip or whatever. And then all the kids on the TikToks,
the kids on the TikToks,
they can do the 1 drip challenge. See
Like
how it works.
pure Carolina Reaper oil. Is that what you're talking about?
No, I used Carolina Reaper, the powder,
Okay.
and whole dried Carolina Reapers, but I've cut them up, right? So they've been sitting there for a few weeks. But I just keep mixing it, and it just keeps floating to the top. And I mix it. That's going to be a hard one to bottle to keep the flavoring in there. But we're going to try. We will try. Anyway, guys, I'm going to cut off the live stream for tonight. And Charlie's tomorrow for more fun-filled excitement.
Yep.
And
What's your topic for tomorrow there, Charlie?
Bees.
Bees.
really? Oh, we're gonna mix it up.
we're
I
going
never would have
to
guessed.
change the topic a little bit.
Mm.
Drones.
Good
Nah, I ain't
reply.
got no drones.
Lack of drones, you mean?
Lack of drones. in
I have no
September.
drones.
Well,
That's funny. Anyway, guys,
Okay.
y'all have a good evening, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Good night,
All right.
everybody.
Later.
Yeah.